usual. I'm feeling low, but a little more so than usual. I wanna play that jukebox and hear that song that tells me how I feel since baby's gone. Jukebox Charlie, that's my name. Yes, I'm well known throughout the honky-tonk crowd. Oh, you're right, Joe, it's a crying shame. But when I start drinking, I start thinking, and I wear my hurt real proud.
We're going to go to the guitar. I've got it centered on the upper part of the guitar above the 12th fret because that's where this was played by Lloyd. It's in the key of B flat, so we should go over the important frets because it's so hard to see up at this part of your guitar. You got to have it definitely in mind where you want to be. All right, so B flat pedals down is at the 13th fret. B flat pedals up is at the 18th. And then we're going to be using the 21st fret in this intro, and then the 25th fret. And it's pretty well established that this was played predominantly on the 1st and 4th strings, alternating. You can leave your foot down on the A and B pedals throughout this whole thing, and then just let off or go on with the A pedal, which is most of the pedaling. So let's go to this. You won't be able to see too well, but let's go to the 25th fret, and then we're going to play the first notes on the 4th string, and then the next notes on the 1st string. And then you just slide up a little bit. Then you move to the 21st fret, but you're going to start one fret above it on the 1st string. Then hit the 4th string. Then you move down to the 18th fret position, but start one up. Again. 1st, then to the 4th, and then we're going to go to the 13th, and then we're going to switch. The thumb's going to play the 5th string instead of the 4th, here at 3 frets up at the 16th fret. So I pedaled on, and then I pedaled off the 5th string. Then you hit the 6th with the B pedal, and then the 7th open. And then for the last bit, it's the 4th and the 1st and the 4th at the 13th fret. Then 4 and 5 with pedaling off. Then 6 with the B pedal, and then pedal on 4 and 5. Okay, so now I'm going to take this whole thing down 12 frets because it's going to be much easier to see and also to understand, because we're going to go over some of the positions and why they work. Okay, we've got the camera down on the lower half of the guitar below the 12th fret. And so everything we played up above the 12th fret is the same down here, it's just 12 frets lower. So the B flat pedals down is the 1st fret, B flat opened is the 6th fret, and what we were playing at the 21st fret, that's the 9th fret, and we were playing at the 25th fret, which is the 13th fret. So all that is the same, just got a different number, minus 12. So I wanted to go over some scales that help you understand what was being played and why it worked. And so we're going to go to the 6th fret, and we're going to just run through the major scale. So you start on the 8th string, 7, 6, then with the B pedal, then the 5th, A pedal, 2nd string. Alright, now rather than play that, the root note at the 8th string, I want to play it on the 7th, 2 frets back. And then instead of playing the 2nd string, I'll just go back a. So there's lots of ways you can play these scales, but I think this is easier to understand once we get into the pentatonic scale. So the pentatonic, that was a 7-note major scale. We're going to play the pentatonic scale, which starts on the root, 7th string, 2 frets back at the open position. Then we're going to play the 6th, and then slide up 2 frets. That's on the 6th. Then we're going to go to the 5th, then add the A pedal. So that's the pentatonic, major pentatonic scale. And that's scales used for thousands of melodies of common songs. If you start playing around with it, you'll find them all. So a variation of the major pentatonic scale is the minor pentatonic scale, which is the first scale a lot of guitar players ever learn. And instead of playing, we're going to relate it to the major scale. Instead of playing the first and then the second, we're going to play, and then the third. When you do the minor pentatonic, you substitute the flatted third. So it's add the B pedal when you hit the 6th string. So we start on the 7th, and then move to the 5th, no pedal, and then add the A pedal, 4th, and then get to the octave. Alright, so let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And then there's an extension of it just below. Now, instead of playing the octave up here at the 6th fret, we can play it up at the 4th fret on the 1st string. And so part of that intro uses you're hitting 1 and 5 and pedaling 5 at the same time. It's got a bluesy sound. And then you hit, that's part of that, the last part of the intro. The other thing is I wanted you to notice is that you might wonder why the 9th fret or the 21st fret is used. Well, it's the flatted third. And so the clever thing was to use the what he did was he used that position here, and then 2 frets and then 3 frets. So that was like the flatted third of make any of these the root. So if you're trying to say use some of these ideas in other songs that you might want to try it, just find the root position, go up 3 frets, and that shows you the flatted third, and then went down to the pedals down position. So whatever key you're working in, you can just try that. Okay, so for example, you wanted to play some of those bluesy licks in the key of C. So find the C open position at the 8th fret, right here, and the 4th string is the root. So find that minor pentatonic scale from there. So it's the 4th string at the 8th, and then up 3 at the 11th, up at the 13th, 15th, and then back to the 6th. So any of those fret positions will work if you wanted to try to duplicate that intro. So if you wanted to do what Lloyd did, you'd be up here at the 15th. And if you wanted to play that bluesy lick, which is 5 and 1 together, play that back at the 6th, which is 2 frets back of the open position. I think of those that minor scale being 2 frets back with the B pedal in. So that's adding that blue note. Play around with that. It's great for a blues song. You can just play your whole solo out of that scale. And you can play the other root note up on the 1st string if you don't want to play it at the 8th fret. Most of you have the 1st string raised on your guitars, either a half or a whole. And instead of going up a fret, you could just hit the knee lever a little bit. So I'm just hitting the lever a little bit. So that's just another option. I think it might be easier just to use the bar. Anyway, thought I'd add that.